Welcome to the Smart Weight Loss Coaching Podcast. I'm Dr. Lisa Oldson, a board-certified weight loss medicine specialist and certified life coach. In this podcast, I'll share fresh insights and effective techniques for incorporating mindset, habit change, and proven science into your life. Are you ready to achieve sustainable weight loss, wellness, and longevity? Then let's jump in and lose weight the smart way. Welcome back. Back in episode 100, you heard the first part of my interview with CEO, author, public speaker, and my dear friend, Bridget Brennan. Today, we're going to finish up that interview. Feel free to head back to episode 100 if you haven't had a chance to listen to that yet. You'll be amused to hear how Bridget and I first became friends 25 years ago.
So, Lisa, you're talented at so many things. What do you think, if you had to choose one, what is your secret superpower?
All right. Well, I have two things that come to mind. One is I do have this party trick that I feel I've let go a little bit since COVID, but it relates to my job as a physician, where every single person I meet in person, I would find out their height and I would find out their weight. That was almost the first thing I would find out about them, plus their age. So imagine if every single person you ever met in your job, you were presented with, hi, here's how tall I am, here's how much I weigh, and here's my age. So those three vital signs were given to me for each and every person that I met ever throughout my entire career. So my party trick, which isn't really a superpower necessarily, but I'm really good at guessing ages, weight, height, and BMI, body mass index. But that party trick, I have to say, I'm probably not as good at it anymore now that so much of our meeting is over Zoom, on telehealth. We do so much more working from home these days. So I feel like I'm a lot less social in person than I used to be. And that includes in my job as well as, going out to do things. But in terms of a secret superpower, what I think is related to my job, I can help people figure out how to lose weight when no one has helped to unlock what they needed unlocked before. And so I think a lot of the reason people get stuck is not because they don't understand which foods they should eat more of, which foods they should eat less of, all of that. It's our mindset and it's our belief in what's possible. It's the way we talk to ourselves. And so I think I'm very good at helping people recognize their own victories and their own success, and then helping to walk them back off the ledge when they're not losing weight as fast as Instagram tells them they should be losing weight or TikTok tells them. So a lot of times I'll be working with someone and let's say they've made a huge change. Maybe it's just something like they used to snack every night after dinner. They're watching Netflix, they're eating chips, or they're eating some chocolate, or they're just snacking on something every single night. And now they're not doing that. And it's 3 weeks of not snacking at night and they haven't lost a pound. Now they're starting to get a little frustrated. They feel like it's not working. I haven't been snacking at all. Maybe they started to do a little bit of exercise. I'm not snacking. I'm exercising. It's been 3 weeks. I haven't lost a pound. So I see my superpower as coming in and helping people pause to celebrate the behavior changes and habit changes that they're making that will absolutely lead to their success over time. And then also walk them back off the ledge to think that this is going to show up on the scale in 3 weeks. I mean, that's just not the reality. I spoke with someone today that I have helped lose over 100 pounds. And a lot of that was before the GLP-1 agonists, these new super potent weight loss medications were available. Some of this was nutritional change, movement, managing stress and sleep, and toxin exposures, plastic exposures. So much of it was mindset. This person's lost over 100 pounds, but I will tell you, they would have quit a long time ago if they were waiting for this to happen in 3 weeks, in 6 weeks. It's been a slow slog. So it was probably a few years of working together from the time they started until the time they hit the 100-pound mark. And they're still going, by the way, which is amazing. We haven't met for 4 months and we just met today. And this person said, I'm stuck at a plateau. Well, I just took my superpower out of my backpack and I was like, well, let's look at your weight. Oh, actually, you're down 5 pounds. That's not a plateau. 5 pounds in under 5 months, you're losing a little over a pound a month. That is what success looks like. And when people don't understand that, they can get so discouraged. So I feel like that's really one of my most important jobs is just helping them slow their roll a little bit and be patient with themselves and the rate of their success. I'm not saying a pound a month is what it is for everyone, but this person had already lost the easiest weight. The first 50 pounds is a lot easier than from 100 to 120 pounds. Like those 20 pounds are much harder than the first 20 pounds or the first 50 pounds because you've done the big things with a big impact. Now we're down to the small things with a small impact, and they take time to show up on the scale. So I help people be patient with themselves and celebrate their behavioral victories instead of the scale victories.
Ah, that is so great. Oh, I love it. I love it. You know, when I think about the arc of your career, starting first as a physician and now doing what you do, helping so many people with weight loss, you've really spent your career helping people grow their confidence, helping them learn new habits, new behaviors. But what about you? What's one of the biggest growth or learning experiences that you've had?
Okay, had to just pause for a hot second there and catch my breath because I'll share one of my biggest learning experiences that's unrelated to my job. I mean, it's related in a little way, but when I had my first baby, that baby was born almost 3 months early. And that was a very unplanned, unexpected maternity leave. It was very abrupt. And normally, think about if you're going on vacation, you really wrap things up for whoever is covering for you. So if I was going on vacation, I would actually give report to some degree to my partner who's covering. Here's this person who's got this complicated thing, and I'm waiting for their CAT scan to come back. And I've left a message with this specialist. And I would let them know about the things that were unresolved. And I would really work on my calendar and make sure my nurse knew what to follow up on. A lot of prep goes into going on vacation when you're a physician. In this case, there was no prep. I was in labor at work, went straight to the hospital and had the baby very unexpectedly. And so I took time off with no warning, and my partners jumped in, of course, because they're wonderful people and they covered for me. And I'm so grateful because that's not easy when they were already juggling a very heavy load themselves. But then when my baby turned 1, right around that time, we discovered that he had a benign but very large brain cyst and needed surgery. And in fact, between his first and second birthdays, he had 3 brain surgeries. And it was just very humbling to say again to my partners, I need help. I can't help you. I can't wrap this up in a bow. I found out that my kid needed brain surgery. I mean, really, my baby wasn't even walking at the time. Now we know why, because there was this big cyst. And the surgery was scheduled for 48 hours later, a little less than that. And in that time between 0 and 48 hours, we had a long list of things we had to do. We had to get to a pediatric neuro-ophthalmologist. We had to get to a cardiologist. I donated blood and had it transferred to the hospital. So if my kid needed a transfusion, there were all these things we were doing. So I could not help with rescheduling patients, calling people who were waiting for a call back. I had to hand it over. So the learning experience that I'm trying to sum up is to say, I really learned that we are all part of a community, and some of that community is our friend group or our immediate family. Sometimes that community includes colleagues. Sometimes it includes people that you're not that close with, but you need to lean on, or they make themselves available for you to lean on. And I just really have stopped being mortified when I need to ask for help. I've just started being grateful that I can ask people for help and stop being self conscious about it because it feels good for me to be there for other people. I love to help other people. And I know that people would like to do that for me as well. So that has been some serious growth. And I'll say, it does not stop there throughout. My kid is now 18. There have been 8 surgeries, most of them not planned well in advance. And I've made changes, so I'm not dropping everything on a busy primary care practice while I go out and about dealing with other family issues. That's a piece of why I love the practice I've built, the coaching practice and the medical practice that I have, that I do have a little more flexibility so that I can pivot, so that I can take care of what I need to take care of at home and also take care of the people who come to me with something as vulnerable as excess weight. They're coming to me asking for help, and it's challenging. It's awkward for them. It might be embarrassing for them. I want to give them my full attention. And I've crafted this life for myself that has more balance so that I can do that well. And so when a crisis comes up, I have a place to put them. I'll see you tomorrow or the next day. So, yeah.
Wow, Lisa, that's a really powerful story. And I think you're reminding us of a few things. One, really capable people often feel sheepish asking for help, and we shouldn't. And you're reminding us that people feel good about giving help
Yes.
and the opportunity to help someone. And so that can hopefully make us all feel less self-conscious about asking for help, because we know when we can help someone how good it makes us feel. So I love that story. And you just talked about how you have crafted your practice in a way that really works for your family and for your life. And I'd like to ask you, what is the best part of being a weight loss specialist?
Ooh, great question.
And then you have to tell us what's the worst part.
The best part of my job is really making a difference for people around a topic that is tricky. There's a lot of shame involved in carrying excess weight. People who are successful in so many other areas of their lives feel so self conscious when they cannot get this one thing under control. And it can affect any of us. Excess weight is a complex disease. There are hormonal causes, there are genetic causes, there are epigenetic causes. It relates to our immunology, our endocrinology. There are chemicals in our food supply, things in our environment that are contributing to weight gain. But I will tell you, people don't think about any of that. They just blame themselves and they feel a lot of shame. And the best part of my job is being able to diffuse some of that and to help people be more kind to themselves and to help people believe in themselves a little bit more, and then to see them have success. Because I have yet to meet anyone for whom I have seen weight loss be impossible. It is possible. Everyone can lose weight. And we have different things we have to overcome in order to make that happen. Sometimes people need medication. Some people need metabolic surgery or bariatric surgery. Some people need to just stop being mean to themselves and criticizing themselves. Some people just need to get a better night's sleep because they get so little sleep that their metabolism is a hot mess. And I love the detective work to figure out what is it for you. But I think for most people, it's shaking loose the shame and the blame.
Mm. Well, that's a great answer for the best part of being a weight loss specialist. Now, what's the worst part?
The worst part of my job is competing what people think should happen from watching social media. People watch these transformations, some of which are true and some of which are just nonsense online. We've all seen that you can really change how your body looks by changing the angle of the mirror, changing the angle of the camera, wearing a different outfit, changing the lighting, sucking it in, wearing some Spanx, whatever it is. So I think people come to me with some confusion about what's really possible, but more than that, how quickly change is possible. And so I'm really battling against that. And in fact, this is interesting. In my medical practice, I changed the way people work with me because of this. So it's no longer possible to come make one appointment with me. You can't. You can make 15 appointments with me all at one time. And the reason I do that is I say to people, I take very few patients in my medical practice anymore. My big program is the Smart Weight Loss Coaching online program. It's kind of a group, kind of like an online class, a course, a community. It's fantastic. So I have a very tiny private practice, and you can only sign up to work with me if you commit to a year of working together. Because I know in a year, I can get people to a place where they will be delighted. But they might not be so delighted with me 6 weeks into it if the scale hasn't budged yet. Sometimes they make huge changes, but now we have to march those out over time. And it's hard to get people to be patient and not really so much patient with me, but patient with the process, patient with themselves. And so now I really select people who are willing to say, okay, I'm going to give this a year. Let's do it. Let's go. And I think universally, they're amazed with what they can accomplish and they feel great about where they land. But it is hard to shake loose that quick fix that everybody wants because that's what we see online. That's what's been normalized for us, but it's not normal. It's not usually how it works for people.
Mm, that is so true. And Lisa, this has been such a great conversation. We have learned so much about you. I have been your friend for 25 years, and I feel like I have learned so much more about you through this conversation. We've covered so much. And I guess my final question is really what's next?
Gosh, I know. It's been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Bridget. So, when I think about what's coming up next for me, I have two big things in mind. One is I'm in the last quarter of my career as a physician, and I'm not closing my medical practice. That is not imminent. So no one should get worried. But I'm really trying to grow the Smart Weight Loss Coaching online program to help more people. So I have two things that I'm doing in 2025 to try to reach more people and help them with weight loss. One is I've changed the program for women to be a monthly membership so people can just come try it out for a month. If you love it, stay. If you don't, that's okay. But pretty much everyone who tries it loves it and stays. So I think you will too. So that's one thing is this monthly membership. I'm super excited about that. And I hope people will check it out. The other thing is I am constantly being asked about men joining the program. And so I'm starting a men's program. I find that women really want a place where they can speak privately about their biggest feelings related to their weight, their bodies, their struggles, their relationships. All of this stuff impacts our weight, right? If you're stressed at home, if you're having trouble at work, if one of your kids is struggling, that's going to impact you and your weight. It impacts how you take care of yourself. So I want women to have a protected space where they can continue to talk about these things with one another They don't want, I mean, this is the feedback I hear. They don't want to talk about these things in front of men, but the men want a place to go to learn the same concept. So very often women in my program are sharing the things they learn with their spouses, with their adult brother, with their father or their adult son. And so there will be in 2025 a men's program at Smart Weight Loss Coaching.
That is really exciting. That is huge news.
Thank you. I am super excited too. Bridget, I am going to have to wrap us up so reluctantly because this has been amazing and you're so kind to help me with this 100th episode. Let me turn the table and ask something about you. If people would like to learn more about what you do, how can they find you?
Oh, thanks for asking. They can find me either on LinkedIn as Bridget Brennan, Female Factor, or go to my website, bridgetbrennan.com. And Lisa, let me just say, congratulations on your 100th podcast episode.
Thanks, Bridget. Love you. Mwah.
Love you.
Bye. Thanks so much for listening. If you'd like more support during your smart weight loss journey, check out our group coaching program at smartweightlosscoaching.com. Until next time, stay well and stay smart.